Hello everyone and welcome back to my review channel. Today I'm going to be doing the next volume in One Piece. One Piece Volume 18. This collects the chapters of 156 through 166. So chapter 156 through 166. Got a good 10 chapters in this one. Volume 18 of One Piece. I'm trying to just hold this up here. Hopefully I'll get a good thumbnail of it. Let's just go with this. Luffy and the crew. Let me see. What are they doing? They're on their way to Alabasta. Yep, that's what they're doing. Beginning of the volume, they're on the way to Alabasta on the sea. And the very first thing they accidentally do is catch somebody because Luffy and Usopp are trying to actually fish. And at first they use Karoo, the duck, as like bait. That doesn't go over well with Princess Vivi. So, but anyways, they go through like a thick fog real quick, and they accidentally end up having like a strange man on their line. They accidentally caught this guy. He gets on the boat, and they turn it. Well, he's really friendly with the pirates. He says thank you for like saving his life because he actually fell in the ocean because he actually got caught by their fishing pole or net, or not net, but fishing. And so he goes on telling who he is, not that he works for anybody, but who he is as just a Bon Clay. That he explains that he has devil fruit and explains how it works. And his ship comes back and get him real quick, and they leave. At the very end, it's pretty much you hear from the crewmates of Bon Clay call him out as number 2 of Baroque Works, and then they're all like, "Oh." So there's that. First thing they do after that is go to the next island, which is in Alabasta, but it's like the first shore. It's like the place you get supplies before you get into actual like this, what you would consider the city of Alabasta. So I'll put that down now. I think I should have a good thumbnail. So they get to this little town for supplies. Sanji goes out, and Zoro goes out. Luffy goes out. They all go out because Luffy wants to meet. Someone is in town, and it's Fire Fist Ace. And he's actually looking for Luffy. And Luffy just happens to go to the exact same restaurant that Ace is at. So he meets up with him there, but right behind Luffy is Captain Smoker. He saw Luffy, so he decides to chase him down in this town. When Luffy finally figures out who Captain Smoker is, takes him like a minute. He runs. Luffy runs. Gets everybody and heads off. And the only way he was able to escape was with Fire Fist Ace help. So after they're able to leave, and Ace helped him, wasn't really a big fight with Smoker. It's just like a way to help him escape with Ace and Captain Smoker. But once Luffy and the Straw Hats leave, they're out to sea. Ace pops back up, and and it explains like who he is, most part who he is, where he's from, and that he just happens to be Luffy's older brother. So there you go. It lets you know that, and then Ace is gone, saying he's looking for a character called what he is now calling himself Blackbeard, and then he leaves. And from there, they get to the island of Alabasta. They're going first, but right before they actually get to the king, like where Princess is trying to get to his father, the king in Alabasta, they get to the small town right and like the outskirts of Alabasta, the big city. So they get this town, and Princess like pretty much knows this one dude, so she doesn't want to be like noticed by him, but she knows who he is, and he's like pretty much an old man in this village. But this land has it's supposed to be like a water oasis. Not really a water oasis, but like filled. It shouldn't be a desert. The whole thing is a desert. But it should have running water there. But it hasn't had running water in years. It hasn't explained that yet, but it will. Explain a little bit. But not like the whole backstory. Just like, only really says that this place had a bunch of water at one time, but a few years ago something happened, and now they have to like dig really, really low to get like any water. It's basically the whole place is a desert now. After this, it goes to the agents of Baroque Works. They gather in one place on because Mr. Zero orders them all together. So they get to one place where like Mr. Zero is, and he finally introduces himself to like the top 4 couples, you know, male and female couples, 3 or 4. Yeah, I think it's like the top echelon, probably like the first only 2 couples, because it's only like Mr. 1, Mr. 2, and Mr. 0, and their respective other. So you get there, and Sir Croc, how he finally reveals himself. Mr. 0 reveals himself as Sir Crocodile, the warlord of the sea, Shikabukai, one of the 7 warlords of the sea. And they're all surprised. They're like, we've been working for a pirate, yada yada. And then Sir Crocodile goes on to tell him about how he has this plan that needs to be put in fruition right now. And someone pops up, old agent of Mr. 3 of Baroque Works. He shows up, and this kind of like affects Sir Crocodile in a way, because he pretty much, number 3 failed in his mission, and you don't tell, no one's going to fail in their mission, and like, you know, you're going to tell this to Sir Crocodile. Well, if something happens to him, where Sir Crocodile uses his powers and throws him down this big, like, water tank filled with these banana dolls is what they're called, but I like to call them like, yeah, I mean banana dolls. That is what they are. So it's like a big ass dinosaur gator, like a gator the size of a dinosaur, but it has like a banana on its head. It's not like a fake banana. It just looks like a real banana. It's part of its body. It's just there. But anyway, that's like Sir Croc's pet. It's pretty cool. So after right after that, it goes back to like Luffy and everyone in the desert walking to Alabasta from like that little town to actual heart of Alabasta, and they're like right in the middle of the desert. They're like steaming hot. They have to wear all this line of clothes because, as we know, if it's like the desert, the sun's going to be hitting down on you. You need hat and clothing so you don't burn up. It's really a double-edged sword. It's kind of weird, but so they're walking through, and Luffy and Princess Vivi get in a fight because Luffy wants to just go ahead and fight Sir Crocodile now, and he has a good point he makes. But up till now, like, Princess Vivi wanted to fight this by herself. She wanted to fight. She wanted to bring her people back together, like under her king with her father command. You know, she wants to bring the townspeople back together, which have been a lot of people have like been split since a big things happened a few years ago. So she wants to be the one that stops the fighting. There's a lot of fighting happening in Alabasta because of what's happened a few years ago with the water situation. She feels she could stop it by herself, and Luffy pretty much tells her that she has friends now. She doesn't have to do this alone. And basically, Princess Vivi just breaks down. It's like, okay, we'll do what you want, Luffy. And finally, Luffy's like, yes, I'm going to beat up Sir Croc. And that's like the last page. So there you go. See if I can get that last page in here. Yeah, pretty much last page. Alright. So where do we find this card? But yeah, there we go. This is One Piece, Volume 18. That is it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I will be back again soon to do the next volume. Thank you for your time, and you guys have a great day. Alright, bye.